Okay, so we are back at it again with another Salvajee reviews. I missed out on Jessica Jones Season 2 review, and the reason for that is because I procrastinated, and by the time I wanted to make the review, I just thought it was too late. So I basically just skipped out on it, and I'm not going to do the same with Luke Cage Season 2, alright? So I just want to let you guys know, this review is going to be spoiler-free for now, and then later on, I'm going to talk spoilers. With that said, let's get right into the video. As always, the pacing on a Netflix series, from my experience, it's pretty amazing. I don't watch a lot of Netflix series, but the ones that I have watched, honestly, the pacing just seems really amazing, and that's what I love. That's what I love about Netflix. Okay, the pacing of Luke Cage was not super fast that you basically just breeze through the whole story, but also not very slow that basically just makes you ask yourself, oh my god, like, when is the plot going to advance? Like, I recently started watching what used to be a mainstream series a couple of years back. I don't want to say the name because obviously I don't want to get any spoilers in the comment sections, but long story short, I'm watching the first season of this series and I'm like, damn man, when are things going to get good? I thought people told me that, you know, this series was actually pretty amazing and very addicting. Anyways, long story short, I had to get through the entirety of season 1 to actually get sort of hooked on the series, because I'm not even fully hooked yet. Anyways, Luke Cage Season 2 doesn't really have that problem. As always, Netflix always delivers also on the sort of superhero type fantasy. In Daredevil, you're going to get Daredevil type things. In Luke Cage, you're going to get Luke Cage type things. And of course, that thing is basically the whole bulletproof badassery that Luke Cage brings to the table, as well as, of course, you know, Luke Cage being Luke Cage, knocking out people by just slapping them in the head, stuff like that. And of course, that's something that I really liked. Another thing that I really liked about the story, it's sort of like Luke Cage's inner story, and basically I guess you could say his struggles with himself and his ideals. And of course, that's something that I liked about the series, because basically it always really kept me wondering where Luke Cage was going to go, right? Like, where things were going to go with him. Now let's talk about the villains of the story, Bushmaster and Mariah. I honestly think that, you know, they were done pretty well. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man, I just never really liked that Mariah character. Like, I rather have Cornell than her, okay? But I guess you could say they clearly did a good job, because if I don't like a character from a series, it's because, you know, it's supposed to be that way, okay? I think they did her character very well, and her actress, man, or actor, I don't really know the term, but yeah, the point is, the lady that plays Mariah, she's a very talented lady indeed, okay? Okay, so now let's talk Bushmaster. Honestly, there's one thing that I didn't like about his character, and that's his whole redemption / revenge story. We've just seen it way too many times in a lot of villains and a lot of series. You know, it's like the saying says, right? When you're seeking revenge, just dig up 2 graves. Basically, I sort of knew where the whole Bushmaster story was going to head to. I feel like the real reason why Bushmaster was in the series, so that you know, people that watch the series could see how Luke Cage and Bushmaster are very alike. And honestly, I think they really did a great job. Towards the end of the series, we see Luke Cage in a position where we ask ourselves, oh my god, maybe Luke Cage might be Bushmaster in the future because of X and Y reason. And of course, I'm going to talk about the ending, and of course, how I feel about it, and how I feel about Luke changing as the series progresses, of course, more towards the end. But of course, this is kind of like the spoiler-free section, so, you know, I didn't want to get too into that. Look, overall, I really like Bushmaster as a character, and I really think he was cool. I hope to see him in the future of, you know, Luke Cage Season 3 or maybe 4. Maybe he helps Luke take out Diamondback. But the point is, I feel like his story could have been done a little bit better. Now we're going to be talking some spoilers, okay? So if you guys don't want any spoilers from Luke Cage Season 2, just click off the video right now, and then of course come back and watch it when you finished Season 2 of the series. Which, by the way, I gave you guys a whole weekend to binge watch, just saying, alright? I finished the series about 2 days in, and I was like, okay, I'm actually just gonna wait just a little bit more, because I'm pretty sure a lot of my subscribers basically haven't finished that by now, because, you know, maybe they got school stuff, all of that stuff, okay? Okay, one of the things that I really liked about Luke Cage Season 2, probably the best decision that they made with the season, is to sort of take out Claire out of the equation. So Claire has always been in series like Daredevil, Iron Fist, Defenders, Jessica Jones, and she's sort of been a person that kind of slows down the plot by a little bit, at least in my opinion. And yeah, she basically didn't play a factor at all when it comes down to Luke Cage Season 2, and I really like that. Basically, the removal of Claire basically gave Luke sort of a, I guess you could say, more character development that otherwise wouldn't have been there if, of course, Claire was a factor in the series. And at the end of the day, Luke Cage became became the person that he became because, of course, of the loss of Claire. Like, if he wouldn't have lost Claire sort of like early in the series, and Luke would have actually taken his her advice, basically he wouldn't have gone to the point where he was. And of course, that's something that I also liked about this season. It's things like these that sort of like make me think about a series. It's what sort of gets me hooked into series, and basically sort of I guess you could say makes me want to watch the series even more, and basically watch the characters' progress. When I was midway through the season and I saw that Claire wasn't really coming back, I was like, holy shit, I really wonder where Luke is going to go, because that's also another thing that I really, really liked about the series. Basically, how Luke ended up being, I guess you could say, a quote-unquote crime boss, in a way, not really, because he's not really doing any crime. He's just sort of like controlling it and stuff. Anyway, I just thought that was very, very unique about the series, and I appreciate that. Another reason why I really like the removal of Claire in Luke Cage Season 2, because it sort of gave an opportunity for like other characters to basically just develop, and it just gave us some insight into other characters' lives, and obviously the development of other characters. Like, for example, I really like the mini story that Luke Cage's dad sort of had in the equation midway through the series. I thought it was honestly pretty cool. And of course, another story that I really, really liked a lot was Tilda's story. Basically, Mariah's what's this thing called? Mariah's daughter. At first, I thought she was just going to be like a filler type character that is just going to be sort of making the plot very, very slow. But of course, that actually wasn't the case at all, and I really, really liked that. I really liked how much her character developed, and honestly, I was actually expecting her to go from being a good person to sort of being like this dark person with sort of dark beliefs and all of that stuff. And I do have to say that it was very, very satisfying when Tilda just basically killed Mariah. And by the way, how the hell did she get away with it? I mean, did people just think that Mariah just died like out of nowhere? They didn't do like an autopsy on her, stuff like that. Okay, whatever. It's just, the superhero universe, things are just very, very different in there, and common sense sometimes doesn't seem to be a thing in the superhero universes. But anyways, the point is, I really, really liked how things ended up with Tilda. Let's talk about Luke Cage again, right? So at the end of the season, we sort of see him getting Harlem's Paradise and all of that stuff. And honestly, look, the reason why I don't like it, I like it because it just goes to show, in the dark place that Luke Cage is at, and basically how many challenges he's had to deal with, and basically how those challenges shaped him up. Okay, but the point is, the reason why I don't really like this as much, it's because I was really, really hoping to get Iron Fist Season 2 and have it be Luke Cage and Iron Fist doing like the whole Heroes for Hire thingy, but that basically is probably not going to be the case at all whatsoever, most likely, because of course, the person that Luke has become, and basically where Luke is at the moment basically makes it so that he's not going to be I guess you could say, in a position to be like, hey, Danny, you want to do this, Luke Cage and Iron Fist Heroes for Hire type thingy. So I don't really think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. Maybe in the second season of Iron Fist, we might see that, Danny changes Luke a bit. But honestly, I really do think maybe we get that in Luke Cage Season 3, maybe halfway through. Honestly, I'm not really sure. Now let's talk about two of the other characters that I really enjoyed watching as the series went on in Season 2. So first of all, Shades, I feel like, they played his character very, very well. And, dude, that guy, I've been watching Theo Rossi, I hope that's how you pronounce the name, but yeah, I've been watching that guy since Sons of Anarchy, okay? It really just goes to show how long he's gone as an actor, and I wish him a lot of success, okay? I think he's a really good actor too. Really, really good at playing villains also, by the way. But anyways, the point is, Shades at the beginning, he sort of wants Mariah to go like, a little bit dark, a little bit psycho, and then he actually gets what he wished for, and you know what the phrasing says, boys, be careful what you wish for. And long story short, he basically just regrets it and kind of turns on her. And last but not least, another character that I really liked and enjoyed watching throughout the entire season was Misty. I really enjoyed watching Misty. I really, enjoyed seeing her grow. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I liked about Misty in this season is that on the first season, Misty was sort of a character that kind of slowed down the plot. You know, she was always getting in Luke's way, and honestly, it really annoyed me. But in this season, it was completely different, and Misty wasn't that type of character at all. She basically just let Luke do his thing, and basically letting Luke do his thing basically led to, obviously, what Misty probably didn't want. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode review. If you enjoyed it, Luke Cage's review, if you enjoyed it, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It's Salvajee Cartel. Peace.